Christy Setzer is, of course, the president and CEO of New Heights Communications, a very uplifting name for a company. I think it makes us all feel better. She is a Democrat, and she has worked with people like, I don't know, Al Gore, maybe you've heard of him, kind of a big deal, and Ford O'Connell. He also is a big deal. He's a chairman of Civic Forum PAC, also a high-minded name for something. He is a Republican strategist, and he's worked with people like John McCain. Maybe you've heard of him. Okay, Ford, it's your people, so here's a question. Why is Rick Scott, who is like Tea Party, like dude, like super conservative, he has been on this very internet telecast saying, I don't have to, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, like you, I traffic in cynical politics. So here's the deal. Obamacare represents all that is unholy about the size and scope of big government. But Rick Scott's decision to do this is a very pragmatic political decision.
Yeah.
He's up for re-election in 2014. By accepting this Medicaid money, okay, which the federal government's going to pay 100% for 3 years versus 50 to 70%, which they normally do, he's actually going to be able to take the Florida voter that are uninsured from 6.1 million and take that down 1.3 million. And what that helps him do is he's going to probably run against Charlie Crist, does not allow people like Christy over here to say he's an uncaring, bad person. Essentially, this is really an election move, and he knows darn well that eventually this whole Medicaid money thing isn't going to work out, and they're going to play with this after essentially the 2014 election.
Christy, it's true what he says, right? That there is considerable political pressure.
Rick Scott didn't want to be in the position of having to tell Floridians why Florida taxpayers are paying for this and they're not reaping the benefits of it. I don't blame him for it.
And I'm going to say something about Rick Scott. Here's what's smart about it. Rick Scott is likely to face off against Charlie Crist. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Turncoat Charlie. And old Turncoat Charlie is
he's not putting that on his own bumper.
No, seriously. An old Turncoat Charlie is literally going to take all of Obamacare and put it on Florida. And we know that that's not going to work. The smart thing here that Rick Scott did was he did not want to set up the state exchange, which is the second half of the Obamacare. And by not doing that, he's going to leave that to the federal government. And if the federal government is able to work it out, he can then free ride off of somebody else. What he's actually doing here is protecting Florida and protecting himself at the ballot box, because right now he is the most important gubernatorial race in 2014. And not only is he the most important... There's a reason for that. Why? Because if Good Time Charlie beats Rick Scott, okay, Charlie Crist looks like a happy-go-lucky guy. Right. He is so vengeful and spiteful towards the Republican Party.
Oh, that's true.
That when the 2016 Republican nominee tries to incur into Florida, good luck.
Yeah, he
is going to make everybody in the Republican Party pay, and that's why he's actually changed his registration over.
Okay, Ford, you convinced me of that. All right, now, Christy.
The thing is that the reason why you're seeing lots of states that might actually be amenable to the Medicaid expansion and don't yet want to set up their own exchanges is it's a lot harder to set up your own exchange. There's not a lot.
And if you do it wrong, you're going to get blamed.
Exactly. Right. There's not a lot of political upside to it. So, that's what.
And if somebody actually happens on the Democratic side to set up a good exchange, you can free ride. Why waste your resources that are so precious at the state level trying to set up an exchange when the administration's come up with really an imperfect, unholy plan?
The core to all political cynicism, cravenness. Start there, and you can do anything in this business. People, we thank you for not being craven. We thank you for being bold, fair-minded, and patriotic as usual. Okay.